Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sunny Do Curls, and today I'm talking about my experiences with anxiety and depression for the second time on this channel. I have the same symptoms of anxiety and depression as everyone else, except mine are a little bit different in that I have a very different life story than most people. My symptoms of anxiety and depression are sadness or anger, shortness of breath or fatigue, not eating or exercising, and self-hatred. What comes with the depression most of the time is the sadness or self-hatred feelings, like where I feel like if I've done something wrong, then I should just not love myself anymore temporarily. I mean, the self-hating part is temporary. I don't have it all the time, but it's just every time I do something wrong, then I hate myself. But that's obviously one symptom of depression. One symptom that comes with the anxiety is the shortness of breath and the constant feeling that something can go wrong. With my depression, I don't feel like eating or taking care of myself because any self-help feels like a chore. Like eating, I hardly eat when I'm depressed, and that's why I'm so thin. Also, when I'm anxious, I might forget to breathe in stressful situations, so yeah. Yesterday, for example, Aaron and I had so many things to do, so we were supposed to have dinner at 5:30, but Aaron did not understand that. He thought it was at 6 or 7:30 for some reason, and we can't drive very well. I mean, Aaron can drive, but I can't. He can't. He just doesn't know how to drive very far. But we ended up taking Marta to the Rialto Theater, like, all the way, rather than Ted's Montana Grill. We were supposed to eat dinner earlier, but so Aaron couldn't even get us to dinner on time when it was at 5:30, but we ended up leaving by 5:45 because he did not understand what time it was what his mom said it for. And then as we were on Marta, we decided that instead of trying to eat dinner now, let's just wait till after the show. So while we were at Marta, we faced 10 delays, which really caused a lot of anxiety. I was already angry because we missed our reservation at the Montana Grill, and then I was anxious because of the delays at Marta. We were on Marta for a really long time, and I had my noise-canceling headphones and my cell phone connected to Bluetooth, and I was listening to some MCR, and that kind of helped keep my anxiety at bay. But I was so anxious yesterday because of all the delays and everything, because it screwed up our routine. I mean, we autistics are definitely one for routines and hate being delayed. It messes up the routine and causes more anxiety. But we finally get there, and we're on our way there, walking down the street, and Aaron said, "Do you want to eat at this restaurant? It's not far from the Rialto Center." I'm like, "No, we can't go in the restaurant. We have to go straight to the Rialto Center." Even though we were a bit early to the show itself. And I told him that because I was so anxious. I was afraid we were going to miss it. I didn't want to miss anything. So I just didn't want to get delayed further. So Aaron was still very accommodating. As you can see, I'm a bit anxious while I'm making this video, but it's funny because anxiety makes you, it makes you worry constantly, but depression, on the other hand, makes you feel like you can't do anything. So by the time we finally got to the center, I was so tired, drained from the anxiety from earlier, that I needed some coffee and a dessert. Luckily, they had those things at the Rialto Center in the lobby. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made it. And the caffeine and sugar gave me a boost of energy that I sorely needed then. But once we finally watched the show, Aaron and I had a blast. It was so much fun seeing Celtic Christmas. I will not lie. So last night when we took the cab back to North Springs station to get his car and drive back to the apartment, I was so drained both last night, yesterday, and today that I couldn't muster up the energy to go shopping with my boyfriend this morning. And you know what? He supported that decision by staying home with me. Anxiety can drain a person's energy so bad that they are too exhausted the next day to do anything. When Aaron and I had experienced delays at MARTA last night, we decided rather than trying dinner to go straight to the center from MARTA, from North Springs all the way to, I think, Lindbergh Station. Whatever. And the thing with anxiety is you feel like everything goes horribly wrong, and if you were to try to fix it, then you would actually worsen the situation. We have a hard time coming up with solutions to try to better the situation that we're in. We did come up with a solution last night. We said, alright, we missed dinner and it's already getting late. The show doesn't even start till 7:45. No, 8. And we decided our solution would be to go straight to the center and not even try dinner until after we got home, basically. depression has a similar effect to anxiety, being you are frozen, you're stuck. But it's different from anxiety in that you feel too tired to do anything. When your routine gets messed up, it seems like too much effort or extra time to fix it that it's not even worth it, it seems. And daily routines sometimes, like eating or taking a shower, can feel like an extra chore to the person struggling with depression, which is why I'm so thin. That is not a joke. That is literally why I've gotten so thin. It's because of my depression. And so I think one thing that would help the person with the depression is for somebody to help them out, maybe doing the dishes or turning out the lights, not talking in the mornings especially. I don't want to talk to anybody before I've had my coffee. I'd rather start talking after I've had my coffee. And I would prefer in the mornings the lights be out. I'm so depressed that I prefer when the lights are out. So that's one thing about depression. It's like anxiety, but it's where you feel like you can't get anything done. Being depressed does not mean you're suicidal. It just means you have hit a low point in your life and need time to recover. So people who suffer from depression have a darkness within themselves, and unless someone is taking care of them or supporting them, they feel like they don't have a purpose in life. Being suicidal means either not or trying not to live or trying to kill yourself, but depression is different. Depression is just the feelings of hopelessness and anxiety. Anxiety comes with depression, depression comes with anxiety, as I feel they're the same side of, not the same side, the two sides of the same coin. Because if you're depressed, then you get anxious about not doing anything, but if you're not doing anything, you get more depressed. It works more like that. Being there for and listening to someone who suffers anxiety and depression is the best way to show them that you care and show them that they're not alone. And if I have found within myself, for example, every time someone reminds me how great I am and not really listening to what I'm actually saying, it actually exacerbates my feelings of self-hatred and depression and anxiety, and makes me feel disrespected. And I have to say that because that would be very important for those of you who are trying to help someone with the anxiety and depression. There's no way to cure anxiety or depression. There's only a way to be supportive of those of us with anxiety and depression, and that means, you hear that? It means standing with us where we stand today. And being depressed doesn't mean being suicidal. You know what else it doesn't mean? Being depressed also does not mean that I self-harm or anything like that. I wanted to put that out there as well. And one more thing about being there, listening to the person as they vent about whatever made them depressed or anxious that day is very, very helpful. You want people with anxiety and depression to know that you love and care for them and that you respect them. You may not get anxious or depressed about A, but the person who is depressed or anxious about A might have reasons to be depressed or anxious about it, and it may not make any sense to you, but it probably makes more sense to the person with the anxiety or depression. So if just because it doesn't make any sense to you, that wouldn't make me depressed, or that wouldn't make me feel anxious because blah blah blah. We don't need to hear that. And not only do we not need to hear that, but those words are very harmful. I would have to say other harmful things you could say to people with anxiety and depression are, you have friends and family who support you and love you. You have so much worth and value. You're such a great person. Because that makes us feel more depressed or anxious. Because we feel like as though our anxiety or depression is simply irrational or unfounded or not being respected. We know that we have friends and family who love and support us and care about us, and we know that we have people who love us for who we are. We just need to be around those people more and actually experience it, live it for ourselves, rather than having somebody tell us that. And that's what I wanted to say here. But some helpful things to say are, if you truly mean it, I'm always there for you. I'm here to listen to you and agree with you, and not to fix you, because, we don't want to be fixed. We just want somebody to hear us out. This is Sunny D. Curls. I'm signing off now. Autistic Sparks to all my subscribers. Bye.